Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, All Things Taylor, with yours truly just in time for Q&A Wednesday. I am super stoked. We have some really fun questions this week, so why not get right down to it. If you guys hear some noise in the background, I apologize. My animals are having some fun today. The weather has been nice, so they're all jazzed up and like, no snow and no rain, and they're like super stoked. I just got done doing an outdoor workout, super fun today. Skillet, red glasses, meow. So let's get right down to it. Okay, someone asked me from my YouTube channel if there are any cinematic projects, aka meaning like film, that are films that are coming out that I may or may not be excited about. There are quite a few. If you guys watched yesterday's episode of Talks with Taeler Hendrix, which airs every Tuesday on roosesbrand.com, not so subtle a plug, I actually talked about some horror movies that are actually coming out this year in 2021. I'm a huge horror fan. Besides being like a huge comic book and fantasy fan. So anything from Lord of the Rings and Star Wars to Young Justice with Ms. Martian, to, you know, Marvel and DC and like The Conjuring. For those of you that are like diehard fans of mine and the Taylor Army, you guys will know that I have talked quite a bit about growing up in a haunted house in New England. So I'm very much interested in like paranormal, because that was pretty much my daily life growing up from age 5 to 22. It's just crazy. So I would say one cinematic project that I'm definitely super stoked, cannot wait to see, is The Conjuring, Devil Made Me Do It. It's based on an actual case from Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are world-renowned paranormal researchers, investigators, and I believe Ed Warren is a religious demonologist, or was, he passed away, and then Lorraine Warren was actually like a bona fide clairvoyant, so like some really cool shizit, right? And The Devil Made Me Do It, one of the reasons why I want to see it is growing up, I used to hear all about this case growing up. It has several films based on it, but no film has actually specifically been based off of the case files of Ed and Lorraine Warren, so that's why I'm super stoked to see this film. I hope they do it justice. They have not steered us wrong yet, in my opinion, in the Conjuring series, so I'm super stoked. The Devil Made Me Do It was actually the first case in actual United States court systems where the murder suspect actually claimed demonic possession as for the reason in which he killed his family. So this is based around the Amityville Horror House, I believe, and I think the case went to court in, I think, like 1981, something like that. So I am super stoked to see that movie. I also want to see the new Candyman. I want to see A Quiet Place 2. I'm also really excited for Black Widow. And I'm really, I could go on and on and on. So if you guys want to hear more about what I'm excited about, I'll do a whole different video. So comment below, on top of your Q&A Wednesday questions, comment below if you would like a video on more stuff that I want to see in theaters, especially since I do talk about it on my podcast, but I know not all of you are subscribers to roosesbrand.com. But if you do, you get so much content, from the beautiful people to my podcast, to Goldilocks, to Vince Russo, Stevie Ray, and so many more, all for like a monthly price that costs less than a large cup of coffee. But yeah, let me know and I will do a whole nother video. Oh, and also if you guys want more like haunted stories from like when I was a kid, like growing up in a bona fide haunted house, as I just went totally Boston accent. Okay, someone also asked me on my YouTube channel if I could go back into like any sort of time period, what inspirational person would I want to meet in person? Okay, if I had a real like honest to goodness DeLorean and I could just go back in time without any sort of mishaps, hands down, I would totally pick Bette Davis. She is just definitely my professional role model. I love her fierceness. I love her take no prisoners attitude and her gumption, and learning about her and being inspired by her is how I can still hold my head high today. And the fact that she was just a little girl from Lowell, Massachusetts just is so inspiring to me. So hands down, without even thinking, Bette Davis. I always wanted to say in wrestling that I wanted to be like the Bette Davis of my generation, and I think I've done pretty well so far, and I still feel so much more to give. Okay, with my nerdy glasses, let's get right down to the next one. Someone asked me if I'm a conspiracy theorist. That's a complicated question, which I think actually ends up saying that I'm a conspiracy theorist, but no. I think yes and no, it depends. I think the way our education system and how it's tied to our banking system is very suspicious, and how our banking system isn't even owned by the federal government is very suspicious. So I guess in that regard, maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, but then in other ways I'm not. But definitely knowing as many people as I do that work in like the medical industry and things like that, I definitely think there are a lot of conspiracies. Especially like the more you read about certain like presidential assassinations and different things like that. So definitely for certain things, I'm totally a conspiracy theorist. I love to read, so I'm always getting my hands into different things. And the more you read, the more you know. And the more you know, you connect the dots. And then once you connect the dots, you cannot unsee those dots. Sabrina, thank you. Sorry, my kitty. Okay, so yes and no. Like, yeah, and but yeah, probably. But only where it actually counts. I don't like in Grey's Anatomy, when you hear hoofbeats, I don't automatically think zebras. First instinct is horses, because that's logical. I like to be very logical about things, but yeah, I do believe there are conspiracy theories out there for sure. So I'm definitely not blind to them, but I don't automatically hear hoofbeats and think zebras. Like, I try to be very logical and approach it from a point of information, as opposed to what the general wants you to think or whatever, you know what I mean? Like the agenda put out there versus like digging deeper for more information. I hope that explains it. Oh no. Okay. Someone also on my YouTube asked me, who ribs more in wrestling? Rib meaning playing jokes on. That's just, wrestling slang. We call it, oh, a rib. What a rib. That sounds so like Rip Rogers. What a rib. We used to hear that all the time. And in developmental. The answer is very simple. Who ribs more, men or women? Men. Hands down. The women, hi Scooby, are you making an appearance? Oh my goodness, are you making an appearance on my YouTube channel? Oh my goodness. Guys, this is my rescue dog. Well, all my animals are rescues, but she is my most recent rescue case. She was just severely abused somewhere on a farm, and she was going to potentially get euthanized, so we rescued you. Yes, we did. Oh my goodness. You want to say hi? They're over there. Want to say hi? Oh my goodness, hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So we've been putting in a lot of work with you. Yes, we have. Oh my goodness, we love mommy. Yes, we do. So she's like learning to trust again. Like, this is a big deal for her. She just started recently eating treats out of the hand. She would not. She gets so scared. And she's starting to play with toys. Oh my goodness. And we're wearing a pretty kerchief. Yeah. Scooby, want to say hi? Oh my goodness, hi. Oh, I love animals. Yes, I do. Oh my goodness, thank you. Okay, let's get down before you knock everything over. Yeah, okay. Oh my god, that's like the first time she's ever been on this channel. She gets so scared and just runs away. It's so sad. Yeah, you're so cute. Oh, thank you. Paw and kisses. I'm a lucky mama. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Men rib way more than the ladies, guys. The women are much more... Oh my goodness, be careful. Let's not sit on Slinky. The women, it's very, I don't want to be harsh upon my own gender, but at the same time, I have no problem calling a spade a spade. I'm very real and free with my authenticity in that way. When I see something wrong, I don't care who you are, I'm going to call it out, sort of thing. Yeah, hi. And so the men definitely rib and play jokes a lot more than the women. Just the women are a lot more catty and judgmental, and they have a much bigger role in the status quo than they would like to admit. And so the way they do things is a lot different, but not a lot of people are willing to speak on it, which is very unfortunate because it would be better for everyone. I would say women, there's a lot more of a fake sense of solidarity. And what I mean by fake is it's only there when it's trending or popular, or, the person's in with the in crowd. And that's not real solidarity. Whereas the men are a big part of the status quo. Obviously, it's a male-dominated industry, and it has been for decades. However, the men also play more jokes on each other, some wholeheartedly funny and others a little bit more, malicious. I remember when my first ever title that I won was the OVW Women's Championship title. And I was so crazy proud of that. I was like, not only is this my first title I have ever won, I'm like, people like Mickie James and Beth Phoenix and Katie Lee Burchill and like Lisa Marie Varon and women like that have held this belt. So to me, that was so cool to say that was my first belt. And so I don't know, that was a big deal, right? I'd never had a belt before. And it had like almost like a velvet sort of slip sleeve with like a drawstring or something, so you could put the belt inside the bag, and it was like a protective case bag basically. And so I didn't know, it was my first time winning a belt, right guys? So I didn't know anything, I was still very green. I didn't barely knew my hand from my elbow in the business, so to speak, even though I thought I knew more than I did. And so I left my championship belt, the OVW championship belt, on top of my bag, and then I was off doing something, right? Well, one of the people that had been at OVW for a long time decided to teach me a lesson about proper belt etiquette. And what's really funny is like a lot of other people in a lot of other places do not even follow this etiquette. So I don't know. But basically what they did to play a rib on me was they took the belt and didn't tell me, and they hid it somewhere, right? So after I was like freaking out, oh my god, my belt, somebody took the belt, oh my god, I can't find it, I'm gonna be in so much trouble, oh my gosh. Finally, by the end of the night, the person gave me back the belt and explained to me why they took it from me and let me freak out all night, going all over the building at the Davis Arena looking for it, right? And so the funny thing about that whole story is the fact that when they gave me the belt back, I wasn't given back the protective sleeve bag that goes with the belt. So to this day, nobody knows where that little bag is. Like, they just have the belt, no bag. Because the person who ripped me never gave it back. But lesson learned, did not leave that baby anywhere unattended ever again. So definitely men rip more than the women. Women are a lot more, I don't know, devious, but come off nice. I guess is the difference. I don't know. I can talk more on that on another episode, I think, because I would like to be able to explain that better. But I don't want this to be like a 45-minute episode that nobody has time to watch. Okay, someone asked me, they said that they appreciate how positive I am and a lot of the positive content. They said it always seems so genuine and heartfelt, and I'm like, well, yeah, because it's just who I am, right? And they asked me basically, how do I stay strong during such times, especially times like these? Like, how is it that I'm able to stay strong and positive? That there's no one answer. It's not a one size fits all, unfortunately. And what that means is basically what works for me might not necessarily work for you. However, hearing something from me may spark ideas that you yourself might know, or can at least try to figure out through trial and error what does and doesn't work for you. And that's kind of what I did. The first thing that I did to help be more positive and kind of heal from a lot of different traumas and things like that, and work on really good mental health, was realizing that good mental health is not having 100% good days and being positive 24/7, 365. Good mental health varies for everyone because we're all different people. We've all had different experiences. We come from different walks of life and so forth. And so that's why I always say that, we're not all in the same ship, but we can all be trying to navigate this ocean safely together if we tried a little bit harder to be more conscientious and aware and kind to our fellow human beings out there. Some of us are in ships, other people are in canoes, so you just got to appreciate and be kind and come from a place of compassion, solidarity, and understanding. And so the first thing I had to do was admit, hey, I am an imperfect human being, and that's okay. It is okay to have a bad day. Just don't let that extend into a bad life. That was step number 1. Number 2 was realizing, yeah, you may not have had the best childhood growing up, but that doesn't mean you have to let that lead to a bad life. You have to make the decision to decide that you deserve better, and that your circumstances do not define you. You define your circumstances. And that goes back to my blog, some articles that I've been involved in, and even some of my posts on this YouTube channel. Can'ts, won'ts, and don'ts should only be defined as it relates to you by you. Life is full of can'ts, won'ts, and don'ts. What they stand for should be entirely up to you. Once I understood that lesson, it was like game changer. I won't stop until I succeed in my definition of happiness and success. I can't allow other people's opinions to define me, because there's a difference between character and reputation. Reputation is who everyone else says you are based on what they need and their agendas, whereas character is who I truly am. And that's why I have to be free with my authenticity. And I do not, aka don't, accept failure as my final step in the road to success. See? Can'ts, won'ts, and don'ts. They should always be defined by you, and don't be afraid to let those can'ts, won'ts, and don'ts change. Another thing is coming up with a routine that really fits me and my goals. And what that means is kind of, it's almost like wrestling psychology. I was taught very old school, so I was always taught to ask the booker what they want. And so part of that is ask them what the finish is. The finish is the ultimate goal of their match, right? Because that's the last thing that's the one thing that people will remember, is the finish. Because as Al Snow would always say, fans are always a couple steps behind you. So when you're going 75,000 miles an hour in the ring, you're not helping the fans like digest what's happening and why in your story for the match, which should be like a roller coaster. So you know the finish, you work backwards. You're reverse engineering your life by understanding what your goals are in life that you want to achieve so you feel happy and successful. Okay, so once you define your goals, reverse engineer them to figure out how you're going to get there, you know? And so that really helped me, because I said I have some major goals, and people for the longest time that I was around told me I would never amount to anything, I would never be anything, and my dreams were stupid. How could I ever think that I could achieve them? And then fast forward to today, I'm talking to you guys on this, episode of Q&A Wednesday. I'm a published author. I'm a wrestling writer and reviewer. And, I'm a podcaster and an actress and a pro wrestler. All these things that I ever wanted for my life that I dreamed of when I was like an 8-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl. So reverse engineering your goals as if they're a wrestling match, working your way backwards from the finish is life-changing. Another thing that really helps me is listening to motivational and happy content. Every single day, I will put on noise-canceling headphones or even just earbuds if that's what you have. You got to use what you've got to use. You do not have to bankrupt yourself to make yourself better in life. That's a huge mistake. Keeping up with the Joneses does not end well, does not make you happy. Those people do not care about you. So they do not care if you have the best of everything. They don't care. They just don't. So don't bankrupt yourself to impress other people. If you got earbuds, you got earbuds. If you have noise canceling headphones, whatever. Don't judge yourself. Be free with your authenticity and plug yourself up with positive content. Ignore the negative noise of whatever that is. If it's your parents, if it's, society beating you down in your timeline, telling you, oh, you're this age, so you should be married. Oh, you're only pretty or handsome if you have a 6-pack of abs and you have a size 3 waist. Ignore all the BS and just focus on you, reverse engineering your goals so you can live your happiest life. This is your one life that you're going to remember. Might as well make it count. Okay. Positive content really helped me so much. Hi, Scooby. It really did. So, I listen to so many different people that are more successful than me, so I can pick up on different things that really motivate me when I am having a bad day. Because like I said, it's okay to have a bad day. You are an imperfect human being, and that's what makes you perfect, just the way you are. And if you are doing this life thing right, 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, you'll be a doppelganger of yourself, because you're going to be a newer, better, smarter, stronger, more improved version of who you are right now listening to this Q&A Wednesday video. I hope you're as jazzed as I am, because these are the things that I think about every day. I will be coming out with a book that is about all of the things that I am saying right now, and I'm super excited to share that with you guys. I've been working on it for the last 2 years. So I'm really excited to publish it this year. Super stoked. I have so much to say on it because I have lived 1,000 lifetimes with all the things I've done in this world, all my successes, all my failures, all the life lessons I've learned, all the situations I've been in. I have so much to talk about. And I think that's one of the best ways to live life. Regret is one of the scariest things. And working in a nursing home, I saw a lot of regret. And so I want to live this life while I'm blessed enough to live it, because I've buried a lot of friends. And so I have to crush my goals for them too, because they didn't get to. I have to crush my goals for all the people in the Taeler Army who look at me and fuel me and believe in me and are fans of me, you know, and I want to inspire future generations too with all the things that I've learned. So that way they don't have to make those same mistakes or be put in those same kinds of situations. They can learn and be better. That's why my podcast Talks with Taeler Hendrix is all about being a part of someone else's survival guide. These are all different ways in which you can help yourself be stronger in the face of adversity, you know, during a pandemic or whatever it is that you are going through. And, you know, just remember that you're the CEO of your own life. Hire, fire, and promote as necessary. You know, not everybody needs a VIP all access pass to your life. Sometimes working hard in silence and letting your success be the noise is the best thing for you. Because when people don't necessarily know what your dreams are, they can't try to tear you down your dreams or talk you out of your dreams by telling you you're a POS every day until there comes a point where you believe them. See what I'm saying? So I can talk so much more on that. Maybe we can even do a weekly segment on this YouTube channel. Let me know, guys. We're going to have a lot of discussions in these comments. Let me see here. That was all the questions, and they were all from YouTube this week. So we had cinematic projects, how to stay strong and help build a better life. If I could have a time machine and go back in time, am I a conspiracy theorist, and who ribs more, men or women? Be sure to comment below on this with also your Q&A Wednesday, and maybe you will be featured next week. Also comment on whether or not you want to hear more about some films that are coming out that I'm excited about, and if you would like to see more positive content from all the things that I have been learning over the last couple years that have really just made a huge difference. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Be on the lookout for all 3 of my books. They are officially all on Amazon now. So if you go to Amazon.com, you can find It's Not Easy Being a Sloth by Taeler Hendrix, A Fish with a Wish is Trish by Taeler Hendrix, and Nosey, Rosie, and the Secret Surprise by Taeler Hendrix. So far, they all have 5 stars. I'm super blessed and excited for all the crazy amounts of support. They do have the option to buy for others. So when you click that option, you will pay and you put in the person you want to send it to's email, and it sends it directly to their email. So whether you want a school, a person who has kids, so forth and so on. I'm eventually going to put them all together into a volume, so that way we'll have a hard copy with all of the books in the series for the Furred Herd. Thank you so much, and be sure to tune in next Wednesday for Q&A Wednesday. Like, share, subscribe, comment below.